Welcome back to Traveling McGee. I know. It's been a long time since I've posted, and I do apologize for that. But today I'm in the great state of Maryland. It is a rainy, not really rainy, but misty gray day. Kind of my favorite kind of weather. And today we are going to be hiking to Maryland's highest waterfall at Catoctin Mountain Park. Stay tuned. Like I said, I am here in Maryland. I am at Catoctin Mountain Park, and while it is not a national park, it is affiliated with the National Park Service. It is ran and operated by the National Park Service. A couple reasons why. There is a lot of historical significance around this area. There are a lot of old mills and iron furnaces in the area. So this park kind of encapsulates a lot of different types of history. There's wilderness here as well. The park boundary rubs right up against Cunningham Falls State Park, which is a Maryland state park. But one of the big draws to this area is just about 5 miles down the road here is Camp David. And obviously for security reasons, I can't show you that because I would probably be arrested. So since I can't show you that, I'm going to show you the next best thing, which is Maryland's highest waterfall. There is a little visitor center here, which I am going to walk around first, maybe get a park map and explore. I've never been here before, so everything you're seeing for the first time, I'm seeing for the first time. So let's go check out this visitor center and then we'll get on the trail. I have some apologizing to do. I just went into the visitor center and talked to one of the park rangers, and it turns out that this is an actual national park. It has full national park status. I did not know that. But I did manage to pick up a park map. So you can see it's the normal National Park Service map. And right now I'm going to be doing the Cunningham Falls Trail. It's about 2.8 miles round trip. It's a moderate hike. Takes you from, the trailhead actually begins right here at the visitor center. And it takes you along the road that we were on driving into the visitor center. And then it takes you up to the northern portion of Cunningham Falls. So I'm going to go ahead and move the van from the visitor center parking lot down to the trailhead parking real quick. Nice. Well, it looks like I am the only one here so far. I'll turn my noisy wipers off, which is kind of what I expected. Today is Thursday. It's kind of gloomy outside. Like I said, it's not really raining, it's just kind of misty, and so I'm a little bit concerned if there's any type of rocks that I might have to scramble if it gets a little slippery, especially as I get up closer to the waterfall. But we'll see. But I'm going to use the restroom real quick and then we'll go. Alright, so right here is the trailhead. Here's the parking area with a porta-john, and oh, the wind is starting. And all the leaves are wet. But here's our trail marker, yellow blazes. So we're gonna start up here and see what happens. So my intention for this video is gonna be a relatively short one. There's not a whole lot, it's not a very big park to begin with. Once you kind of put it together with Cunningham Falls State Park, it does open up your options. There's camping there at Cunningham State Falls. There's also a lake with a beach and all that kind of stuff. There is camping here. I think it said it had about 30 or maybe 40 sites to it, relatively small. Again, there's just a lot of history in the area, a lot of different things to explore in and around the park. The visitor center was typical of a national park visitor center, a little gift shop, a small little museum kind of talking about the area, its significance, things that you can see and things that you can do. You can also talk to a park ranger and all that. Again, one of the really cool things is how close it is in proximity to Camp David. I asked one of the park rangers how far Camp David was from here, and she said she didn't know. I don't know if she has to say that or if she truly doesn't know, but I do know it's very close by. And if you're familiar with Camp David, it is a very secluded presidential retreat political figures and the president and the vice president, all those important people can come to if they are ever in danger or if there's a national crisis. It's a very well protected, well secured area in the middle of the woods. It's created by Franklin D. Roosevelt because he wanted a place outside of the White House, outside of Washington, D.C., where he could go and just be at peace, relax, especially during World War II, the amount of stress and fatigue that he was under dealing with the war and polio. And then after that, it just became this kind of mountain retreat for presidents and political figures. So it's pretty cool to know that that's really close by. Alright, so it looks like there is a little marker up here. It looks like we have about 2/10 of a mile left. I don't know where that goes. It's pointing that way. We just came from the visitor center, so it looks like we're going down this trail here. Alright, so it looks like we are at the Falls Nature Trail ends here, so this is what I was on. So I believe this is the Cunningham Falls park boundary. Looks like there's a boardwalk that takes you out to the waterfall. A little drop-off area there for handicap. And then I think there's another parking lot down the street there. But let's keep heading back here and see what we see. Here's a little welcome plaque. Cunningham Falls State Park, William Houck area. Little creek here running back behind the sign. Really nice boardwalk. It's a little bit slippery because it's wet, but it's not too bad. Again, I haven't seen a single person on the trail yet, so I know there's another way to get to the falls, which is kind of at the bottom of the waterfall, so there might be more people down there. I don't know, but as of right now, I haven't seen anybody. All right, well, I'm starting to hear something. Here's that same little creek. Well, you can just see them up there a little bit. Keep going. Alright, well, I walked to the end of that boardwalk and it was a pretty pitiful view, so I'm going to try and get a little bit closer. I'm going to try and get down off the boardwalk here and see if I can get a little bit closer, give you a better view. That's a much better view. Now you can really see all the way up there. See, it starts there and comes down there. Is that right there? Gotta be honest, not super impressed. It is cool for what it is, but there's just really no good vantage point for it, unfortunately. But anyway, that's Cunningham Falls, the tallest natural waterfall here in the state of Maryland. I don't know specifically how tall it is. I will put it down here on the screen. This is Cunningham Falls State Park, Frederick County, Maryland. But to get to where I just was, I mean, obviously you can come in through the state park, or you can come in through Catoctin Mountain National Park. I can now say that. It was a really nice 2.8 mile, well, it's 1.5 miles one way, so it is out and back, 2.8 miles altogether. It's actually one of the more popular trails here at the park because of its proximity to the visitor center. So you can park there and at the visitor center and check all that off your bucket list. But it's a beautiful hike. Fairly moderate, nothing too crazy. This is a really beautiful park to experience in the fall. Fall foliage is really, really beautiful here. Lots of maple, lots of oak, lots of different types of trees that just turn some beautiful, beautiful colors in October and November. But again, like I said, there is a campground here, there is a visitor center, there is quite a few different options for hiking. I think it's at about 27 miles total of hiking trails. If you partner that with Cunningham Falls State Park, that opens up your options even more. Camping, they have a lake here with a beach, really great opportunity. And then if you're a history buff like me, there's a lot of different things that you can see in the area. Like I said, Gettysburg is very close. Just the historical significance of this area, Camp David, just a really cool part of Maryland to explore. So now I'm going to turn around and head back to the van. Like that shot? It's what they call a smooth transition. So actually, before I head out, I didn't realize that this trail splits at the beginning, but there is this small whiskey trail here. It's half a mile round trip. Looks like it's pretty easy, but it takes you up to an old whiskey still, or an area, I guess, where there was a still. So I'm gonna walk up there and see if there's anything left to see. All right, this is where the trail dumps you out at. Pretty famous still, apparently, was discovered here back in 1929, and there was a pretty big raid and a shootout between the still workers and local law enforcement. But I don't know if this is the original still or if it's just a replica. Let's see what this says. This is just a diagram on how to make whiskey. Pretty cool though to be tucked out here in the woods. But apparently someone died when they had this shootout, and yeah, pretty big deal when it was first discovered. But it sits right here along this little creek. And I guess this whole area would have been used for production for whiskey making. So here's another plaque kind of depicting what it was, Blue Blazes still. It says it was police found coils, cooling boxes, hoses, and 18 500-gallon vats, the largest and best equipped still they had ever come across in Frederick County. The economic incentive of making whiskey was great during Prohibition, so 1929, that makes sense. The price of backwoods grog soared from $2 to $22 a gallon in Washington, Baltimore, and New York. So this was not a small little thing on a family farm. This was a major alcohol distributor and producer. So it's pretty cool that tucked away here in these hollows, these kind of valleys in between these mountains, you know, there's some Prohibition history here as well in Catoctin Mountain Park. So something else worth checking out. It's a really easy trail, half a mile in, half a mile back. Super easy. I did want to mention real quick before I forget, this is a free national park. There is no entrance fee to get into this park. There's obviously a fee if you want to camp here, but there is no fee to enter. There's no fee to hike or anything like that. You don't have to have any permits. So I just want to let everybody know that before I forget. I'd really like to see what the campground here looks like, and I think some of you might as well. So once I get back to the van, I'm going to try and find out where the campground is, drive over there and show you. All right, so here we are at the campground. Let me turn that off. Looks like a pretty wooded area. I don't see any sites that have electric so far. Looks like a bathhouse up there. As you can see, not too many people here right now. Looks like your standard site. Probably about, oh, I don't know, 20 feet back up. Tent pad site. Looks like there might be a creek back behind this site. Picnic table, fire ring, and your lantern hook. Pretty standard. Here's a pull-through site with a raised picnic area up there. Decent size. Man, there's a really small site. Holy cow. Not much room up in there. Little guy. Another pull-through site. Wow. Very small. Very, very small. But, I mean, it has everything you're looking for. Picnic table. Here's site 45. Picnic table. Tent pad. Pretty level car space. A pretty decent amount of spaces. Not really sure how much it is a night. You have to check out recreation.gov for prices. So yeah, a bad campground. Quite a few different sites, but again, very, very far away from the actual visitor center. It's definitely not something you're going to be able to walk to from the campground. This is the only one. It's called Owens Creek Campground. I did read in the park map that there are some cabins that you can reserve. Again, I don't know how much those are a night either, but it seems like it's a very quiet campground, not too far away from the road, but this road is very lightly trafficked. So, and there's a couple different trailheads from the campground. There's a nice creek here, so definitely a decent place to camp. Probably be really nice in the fall. I don't know if I've said that yet or not, but definitely be really beautiful in the fall up here on the mountain. But yeah, I thought people would want to see the campground. I'm always interested whenever I visit a new park what the campgrounds look like, and seeing what the amenities are and how big the campsites are and all that kind of stuff. So, but that was my quick tour of Catoctin Mountain National Park here in Maryland. I hope if you're ever in the Baltimore area, the DC area, if you're out exploring Gettysburg, this is a great place to explore, great place to camp. Like I said, it's a free national park. Always great to take advantage of that. Lots and lots of different things to do here. A lot of hiking trails that you can do. There's so much history here that you can learn about, from sawmills and Prohibition to the Civil War to logging history here. Obviously, as we saw the tallest waterfall in Maryland. We're very close to Camp David, like I've said. So there's a ton of things to do in this area. And anyway, I want to thank everybody for tagging along for another video. Again, I apologize for the lapse in videos. It's been a crazy couple of months for me. I'm definitely going to be doing a couple more here in the upcoming weeks. I have a state park, a Pennsylvania state park series coming up. I'm going to be doing 3 state parks in 3 days, so please stay tuned for that one. I'm going to be trying to do Harper's Ferry as well, taking a day tour of that. But again, I want to thank everybody for sticking it out to the end of this video. I know it's not one of my longer videos. Hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.